550-203. Sir, your name?
Frank Switzer.
Representing yourself again today?
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, your name?
Christina Marks.
Also representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
All right, we're here today on return from drug tests, which I had a chance to review. I think the indication was in February 12th hearing that there would be some prescription issues, although it looks like there's some methamphetamine use that was demonstrated by the drug test. Did you have an opportunity to attend the COPE class between February 12th and now, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Did you file the proof of completion?
Yes, sir. I believe I did.
Okay, I didn't see it in the file, so you might want to double check that.
Hold on a second. How, where or how, is there an email that you have?
What?
Do you have an email that I can, like, send, the documents in, or is there another way to, send the information? Because...
Certainly you can electronically file them.
Okay. That's... Okay.
Okay. Because I don't show that that's been taken care of yet. All right.
I'm sorry?
I said I don't show that that's been taken care of yet.
Okay, it was completed on the 11th.
On the 11th of March?
Yes, and I sent the, when it was requesting, like, what case to send it to, I put the appropriate case number.
Okay, because it's not, it didn't show up that it's been filed, so you need to double check that. All right, sir.
How you doing, Your Honor?
Good.
Well, she found positive for narcotics. So I'm asking that her parental rights and visitation be suspended at this time.
Okay.
As it's in the best interest of our daughter.
Has there been issues with the temporary order that I put in place since February?
Yeah.
And what's been the issues?
Over 2.5 hours late on the first weekend that she was supposed to return her. No communication through TP or text that our daughter was going to be 2.5 hours late.
Okay. Is that the only problem that we've had since then?
No.
Okay, what else do we have?
This most recent Sunday, when she was supposed to return our daughter, she decided to take our daughter to the hospital, to an ER, via her texts that are in Talking Parents and submitted to you. She stated our daughter had been sick since Friday, and she's always sick when she picks her up from me. My concern is if our daughter was sick on Friday, why not take her to the ER Friday? Why wait till Sunday at 7:25 p.m. before you're supposed to drop her off to me? Then not give me the address of the hospital, not communicate anything with me, gave me the name, gave me the wrong name, by the way.
I read that.
So I had to drive all the way to Henderson, where she lives, which is the hospital she takes our daughter to drive all the way back to a hospital that I was 15 minutes away from.
Right. Okay. All right. Ma'am, what would you like to tell me?
Yes. In reference to the being, he said 2.5 hours late. I believe it was 2. Which he had his mom pick her up. I was communicating to his mom. He was communicating to his mom. So therefore there was no, he was talking about that I didn't communicate with him. Neither does he. And it's difficult to talk to him because anything I say he doesn't believe anyway. And I explained to the situation to his mom about there was a transportation situation that occurred that I was not expecting. I informed her. He called the police. That's what he wants to do. That's fine. As far as last weekend goes, she did have a UTI, and yes, every weekend that I do get her, she is sick. But Friday when I got her, I thought it was simply a cold. And I was giving her cold medicine, the same thing I normally do whenever she's sick, all weekend, and I noticed it wasn't working. So I took her to the hospital. We happened to get there around 7, close to 8 o'clock, because I was watching my friend's son, who was in the hospital as well. Excuse me. She was in, it turns out she had a UTI. I didn't take her in to see the doctor. He did when he arrived. I did give him, I told him the name of the hospital. I told him the specific name of the hospital, and he asked me for the address, which I did not have, and I told him that I was not his slave anymore. And I told him that he can get it, just like I was in the process of getting it myself. The communication with us has been bad because, like I said, he does not listen to anything I say. He does not believe anything that I say. How I ended up with him and staying with him, the world may never know. But this is unfortunately how our communication is, because everything has been done spitefully and maliciously, and I'm just basically taking it as doing the same thing that I've been doing as my daughter's parent, and just taking care of and handling myself. If there's things that he needs to know, I will let him know, no problem. But if he's not communicating with me, then why am I going to communicate with him? He's using third parties, then that's fine. I will communicate with the other person who's taking care of whatever the situation is in reference to my daughter.
Well, you're supposed to be communicating through talking parents.
Right, which, like I said, he has not done. I have when I needed to, but I have basically gone no contact because, like I said, he does not listen to me, and there's no point. And if he does listen to me, he'll take something and twist it into something that it really isn't, and then we're in court, and he's making it seem like something else. Like, an example is when he was talking about, it was one situation where he was saying that I went with him to McDonald's, which it was the fact that we did it for my daughter, but it was, I didn't want anything to do with him because at the time he was stalking me and harassing me and a whole bunch of other stuff, but I was trying to keep the peace for my daughter.
Okay. You want to talk to me about your meth use?
Excuse me a second. That was, I don't even know when, there was one time a while back before the hearing.
It's not one time a while back, ma'am. Your levels indicate occasional use or regular use, not one-time use.
Regular use? I don't, I honestly don't know, but I haven't done it it's been over a month.
Well, of course it's been over a month. I took the drug test a month ago.
No. I'm saying since then there hasn't been any at all. Like I haven't.
So why is it if you've got a propensity for participating in methamphetamines that you're capable of caring for the child?
I am capable of caring for my daughter. It was a stressful time. Everything has been stressful. I'm not doing it anymore. Like I said, I want my daughter. I've wanted my daughter. But everything has been difficult for me, and I have made very difficult decisions and very not so bright decisions, and I'm willing to seek help. But like I said, I'm not doing it anymore or even ever again. I'm trying to take care of everything that I need to better myself, and I know that's not one of them, and that's why I'm not doing it anymore. It was a very dark spot a month ago, and probably even a month before that.
Well, my question was, how am I supposed to trust that you're able to care for the child if you're doing that?
I understand that. I can't. The only thing I can do is prove it.
Well, I'm going to give you that opportunity. I'm going to send you to options for ongoing monitoring and counseling. I don't know if that's the help you're talking about, but certainly I need to monitor your drug use to make sure that this child's protected.
That's fine. And I don't do anything around my daughter at all. Oh, I'm sorry. May I address something real quick?
What's that?
Okay, so he also mentioned, because I haven't been able to appropriately answer his recent claim, he claims that my daughter was left unattended outside with her friend. Now, we live in it's a housing community, and like I said, I was watching my friend's son. She was in the hospital for a week. The playground area is right within visual distance of my house. Plus, I had two other friends helping me. So there's eyes at all times on my daughter. I can see her from my patio. I physically go outside to check on her. My daughter is never, ever left unattended. Ever.
Sounds like you're overwhelmed.
The lies that have been stated about me, it does cause a very strong effect within me and very strong emotions. But I was in the hospital last night, and so I'm kind of recovering from the medication that they gave me as well.
Okay. All right, thank you. Anything else, sir?
Several things.
Go ahead.
One, from the evidence submitted, you can see that I did talk to her and talk to the parents when our daughter was over 2.5 hours late. She never replied. After the cops were called, our daughter was finally dropped off. The cops did the report. They submitted it to family court through the family court report thing they did. She immediately texts 5 minutes later, oh, I gave her a bath. She ate a quesadilla for dinner. You know, she ate a quesadilla for dinner. Not a dinner for a grown child. The statements our daughter made last time about she's terrified of me have me concerned. I would like to get the Medicaid card from Miss Marks, because she won't give it to me, so that I can get our daughter to seek a child counselor, because it concerns me that our daughter's telling me one thing, then telling her mother something else, if that's actually what's happening. Our daughter needs a third party she can speak to without having to worry about hurting either parent's feelings.
Okay.
And I think that's in the best interest of our daughter to see some kind of child counselor or some specialist that understands our daughter's perspective better.
Well, certainly, therapy is a decision that parents can make with regard to their children. So,
I need the Medicaid card.
well, you're the primary custodian and have been so since the stipulation back in January of last year. So,
And that's another issue with this state of welfare I am trying to process through. I originally did have our daughter, and then when I filed to renew, somehow Miss Marks filed and got custody of her through the welfare thing.
Yeah, well,
I'm just letting you know what happened.
no, I'm telling you, you've got a court order from this court.
I went down there with the court order, Your Honor. I spent 2.5 hours speaking to a supervisor, and they basically told me that if I tried, that our daughter wouldn't have Medicaid.
Well, I don't understand that, but as far as the custody concern, that's been clear since the stipulation back in January of last year.
Yes. I was going to ask you today if I could serve this Marks with the contempt of court paper that you signed, as I have proof that she never picks up her mail. I can't find her, and I don't know how to serve her in person, and she's not picking up her mail. So to serve her through mail, I would want to know, can we move forward with the contempt of court process since you signed that paperwork?
There needs to be service.
How would you prefer me to go about that?
Well, if it's a show cause, it needs to be personally served.
Okay.
When there's exchange of the child, you don't have contact with her?
When she shows.
Okay. All right. As I indicated, the parties stipulated to grant the plaintiff primary physical custody back in January of 2018. The parties were next before the court in July of 2018, where they again stipulated with regard to visitation, as well as the defendant taking the club class in 2 weeks. We had that conversation back in February that didn't happen. Drug test came back showing either occasional or regular use of methamphetamines for defendant, which causes this court some concern with her ability to care for the child. I am going to send the defendant to the options program, 12-week patch and counseling, monitor that, and move forward from that. We'll come back in July to take a look at the progress that's been made with regard to the drug usage. However, the court can't find, at least on a temporary basis, it's best in the minor child to spend evenings or overnights with the defendant based upon the levels of methamphetamine that was in her system. As such, I'm modifying the temporary order so that mom will have visitation with the child on the second and fourth Sundays of each month from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. That would
excuse
be the
me, Your Honor?
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry. I wanted to ask a question, and I also wanted to address something.
Okay. The temporary visitation schedule will be the temporary order until further order of the court when we come back in July, and I'll give you that July date in a few minutes. That is certainly a primary physical custody situation to the plaintiff, so when you prepare that order from today, make sure you include that in there. I don't know if that's going to help you with any other issues or not. We'll come back on July 9th at 10 a.m.
I do have one quick question.
Hold on a second. She had a question, then I'll get to your question. Yes, ma'am, you
Uh,
had a question?
Yes. So the second and fourth week wasn't enacted until now, correct?
I'm modifying the second. You used to have the second and fourth weekends. Now you're down to the second and fourth Sundays.
Okay. Okay. Well, the reason why I ask is because I was trying to obtain the order stating whether I had my daughter on the second and fourth weekends when I had picked her up. I can't even remember the date right now, but it was the first week of March. I came to pick her up, and he told me that I was not supposed to. I just wanted to make sure that that was correct, or if I was being lied to.
Well, you have the second. You had the second and fourth, which would have been the 8th and the 22nd. So now you've got the second and fourth Sundays, which would be the 10th and the 24th of March.
Okay.
And are you still on Judson, ma'am? 6770 Judson?
No, and actually, Mr. Switzer has my current address because the 29th of December, he
Okay,
sent
what
the
is that
police to
address,
my...
ma'am? Because that's the address that the court has. So you
Okay,
need to update the address the court has whenever you move. So what is the address?
Okay, I didn't realize. It was 301, or it's 301
Uh-huh.
Taylor Street.
Taylor?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Apartment 722,
Okay.
Henderson, Nevada, 89015.
Okay. All right. Well, that'll be the order of the court, ma'am. We will mail your referral to options. You need to report to options before March 26th to get that process started, and we'll be getting periodic updates with regard to where we are, but that'll be the order that I'm having you prepare. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
In the order that I asked for, and I was asking still again, due to all these things and concerns, could I have sole legal custody of our daughter? Because it would benefit her to have somebody with a stable mind, stable environment, making decisions for her.
Well, I've authorized you to get therapy for her moving forward. Given the drug use temporarily, I will grant the sole legal so you can make those medical decisions. We'll review that when we come back in July.
And I can still inform this March 13th.
Yeah, you still need to provide the notice,
Mhm.
but the decision making will be temporarily yours until we can get her through the patch program.
Okay, and the drop off and pick up for the temporary will still stay at the McDonald's?
That's correct.
And should that continue, Your Honor, can holidays be the same drop off and pick up?
I'm not authorizing holidays other than
Because there's one coming up, I think.
the temporary schedule is going to control until we come back. I've got concerns about the drug use.
Okay, yes, sir.
Excuse me, Your Honor?
10 a.m. Sunday at the McDonald's that we have in the order.
That's correct. Something else, ma'am?
Yes, I'm sorry. There was one more thing that I was trying to address, and I almost forgot about it. In reference to her medical, he was supposed to renew her. I had her Medicaid from the time she was born and I even have it now. He had it for her temporarily. He was supposed to renew in May. When I went to renew everything in April. That's what I was told. So in May, I put her back on my medical insurance. And because of the weekends that I had, there isn't a doctor available for her on the weekends. But I have spoken to him almost a year ago about getting her therapy, about her dental, because she has a cavity. She has either one or two cavities that have not been addressed because of the situation that was going on at the time when I had her in my custody. Trying to balance my pregnancy and work, I wasn't able to take her to the dentist, but I have addressed numerous times these issues to him, and nothing has been done.
Okay.
So if he's addressing them and is really trying to do them, I would like to make sure that they get done. And she also has an interest in soccer that he said that she was going to be participating in over a year ago, and she has not done that either.
Okay, well, those are the orders. You'll prepare that order?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good luck. Thank you both.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.